Hi, I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to my video cartoon for August 29th, 2025. Here we have this is Richard Trump, JFK Jr., August 2024 flashback, given Health Secretary Kennedy's CDC shakeup over vaccines. So what's happening here is that I'm going to read this cartoon to you and go on from there. This is the ghost of President John F. Kennedy returns to haunt Robert Kennedy Jr. amid independent candidate Kennedy suspending his presidential campaign. He was an independent candidate, and then he decided to join and support President Trump in his presidential campaign and backing Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump. And hours later, he appeared with him at a rally in Arizona. Kennedy telling reporters on that Friday that Trump's stand that he could end the war in Ukraine by negotiating with Russia alone would justify my support for his campaign. Okay, so that's what he said. And here goes President Trump saying this. I know Bobby's uncle, President John F. Kennedy, is looking down right now, and he is very, very proud of Bobby. I'm proud of Bobby if you want to know the truth. And here is President John F. Kennedy, the ghost of President John F. Kennedy, looking down from his Oval Office up in heaven somewhere there, looking down, and he's haunting his nephew Bobby Jr. a little bit here, and haunting him and saying this. Bobby Jr., ask not what Trump can do for you. Ask what Trump can do to your country. Okay, and this is the reason this was brought back. This flashback is because of what's going on now at the CDC. That this lady Susan Monaraz, she was ordered to fire some people because they didn't support the JFK Jr.'s position on vaccines, and she refused to do that. She refused to fire these people basically on unscientific information, let's say, that she said that Kennedy had provided her, and she would not be a part of taking any action that was not scientifically based. And she saw this as something she couldn't live with, and she decided to resign. And in support of her, many people who were established at the CDC, high-level officials, they resigned in protest over this as well and walked out of their jobs. So the CDC is unraveling right now and is in a state of confusion. And Kennedy, I heard him say this, we have to fire some people to get this organization back on track. In the meantime, the organization has a world-renowned reputation for all the things that it's done in the past. And the concern is that a lot of people will take heed of this, because on this review board, Kennedy, who reviews vaccines, Kennedy rearranged the chairs and appointed his own people there and got rid of other people. And so now the concern is that this former head would not take the advice or the counsel of this new advisory board that was basically rearranged by Kennedy, the people on there, and she wouldn't go along with that in terms of firing people. And then what happened was that she appealed, she got a lawyer involved, and then I'm going to say because President Trump didn't get involved in this. It was a White House word came out that she's fired. That was the White House word. She's fired. So there it was. And then President Kennedy saying here, I'm repeating this for a reason because I'm going to go back and show you Kennedy's inauguration, what he said on Inauguration Day. And there it was. And here he goes. Bobby. And he's saying, Bobby, ask not. And he's saying this here, basically, Bobby, ask not what Trump can do for you. Ask what Trump can do to your country. Okay, so that was Kennedy's response from heaven to President Trump's saying that he'd be very, very proud of him. And there you have that. That was a flashback cartoon. And now what I'm going to do here is try to get you up the inauguration from January 1961, when John F. Kennedy took the office. He took the oath of office that day, and here it goes. Basically, here it goes.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
Okay, that was President John F. Kennedy back then, and I just, that's where I drew his response from, and that was to Bobby Jr. Ask not what Trump can do for you, ask what Trump can do to your country. And that was basically the basis of bringing back this cartoon over the upheaval now at the CDC, and basically that's about it here. If I'm just reviewing my notes here over the advisory panel over this year, and that was about it. And the idea is the concern that was people brought up is that the concern was that President Trump. This is brought up by a few people brought this up, that President Trump is basically feeding the meat to his base, and that when he did a great thing when he did Operation Warp Speed and got those vaccines out and saved a lot of lives, but now the feeling is that President Trump is leaning towards what his base wants to hear, and this is what people have said, instead of going along with scientific discoveries or facts based upon data and really empirical conclusions based upon empirical data, conclusions based upon empirical data. Let's put it that way. I got to remember my statistics here. So the feeling is that the CDC now is going in a direction under Kennedy away from science towards political, catering to the political base of the president. That's the general feeling that a lot of people have had, and they couldn't go with a program that was not based on science, and that's that. And another thing is a lot of funding that was appropriated for this messenger RNA virus that was appropriated to further research in case of mutations of the COVID-19 virus reemerged. All that research now under Kennedy has been hampered or stopped, and that's the concern now, that the United States is now more vulnerable than it should be, based upon all the research that was already done. So all that advanced research into messenger RNA, what it can do. See, the RNA, it's ribonucleic acid, and I remember my studies there a little bit. And what that does is it alters the genetical material. That's genetical material in the virus is altered, and that's what shields you from getting sick. Is that anything that gets into you, that virus alters the reproduction gene through the messenger RNA, and it screws up the whole virus, and you stay well. But that research now is going down the tube, they say. You know, I wasn't there. I'm just telling you what I hear, and that's it. So again, I want to thank you very much for watching my video. Another thing I want to say is, it's hard for me. I could not do a video today without giving some thought to those students out there in Minneapolis at Annunciation Church who was shot there, who was shot out the other day, and 2 are dead, and 1 is still in critical condition. We have to say our prayers for them, and a moment of silence for them, and that's about it. I'm not gonna I'm not going. That's another thing, another topic. I'm not going to get into that. I just want a moment of prayer for those people, and I'll say it again. Thank you for watching my video. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Take care, folks. Hang in there. Bye.